Previously on the Data Factory.
Let's have a look inside a typical SQL server. So with that, the installation is complete and the file type is MDF, also referred to as a primary data file. It's ready for us to reuse. That was creating a table, insert into batch and go. Is null. We use between to avoid use of multiple equality operators. Percent in the beginning and at the end. Also here, let us mention arrange. You have all the records except the top two. Reporting list of employees with lowest salary. We be very careful while using truncate because again, just to repeat myself, it is not monitored in the log data file. Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode. In this one, we will look at how to import data from Excel to your database and how to export as well. Let's get started. We connect to our instance. Let's create a new database and name the database as prod.db. Okay. Here are your MDF and LDF files created. Let's do an OK. Perfect. So here's the database. Let's start importing data to our database. Right click on the database, tasks, import data. This is the wizard that opens up. It is SQL Server import and export wizard. Next, we select our data source as Microsoft Excel. Browse for the path. This will be our file. Okay, so we have the first row as column names. Next, so for destination, you could use either of the two, Microsoft OLEDB provider for SQL Server or Snack, that's your SQL Server native client. I'll be using the Snack. The server name and the database are automatically populated since we had used the right click on this particular database. So the wizard knows what are the properties that could be autofilled. Now the next, we need to copy data from one or more tables of views. Cool. Perfect. So here we see that the wizard has listed down both the sheets. We have sheets named as prods and sales. The other two that you see are basically those that are there in the memory but not committed or saved to the disk. We have two versions of prods on the memory. I think this might be from using a filter because Excel creates a hidden sheet each time we filter on the data. So most relevant for us would be using whatever is there committed on the disk within the Excel file. So we select prods and sales. Subsequently, we need to select the name of the table that we are going to have on the prod.db database. Let's have it as prods and sales, absolutely similar to the sheet names. Next, let's run immediately. Herein you see that it allows us to save it as a SSIS package. This wizard is basically a feature or utility that is available with SSIS. Remember, we had covered SQL Server Integration Service. When I say cover, it was a very brief introduction wherein we mentioned that SSIS helps us with the design of databases for old historical data, as in what we refer to as data warehouse. Let's run this immediately. Next, this is just a simple summary of all the actions that we have selected. You can just quickly go through it. We have source location, source provider, destination location, destination provider, the sheet names and the corresponding tables that will be created via this particular wizard. Perfect. This is a very intuitive one. It shows what all tasks SSIS has performed, and you see all of the items have been successfully checked off. Perfect. Now let's open up this database and the tables section. Select our top 1000 rows. Right. We see there are 606 rows in the prods table, and for our sales table we have 613 rows. Let me quickly show you the Excel file as well. There you go. This is the Excel file. It was a simple dummy data where we had the product names, as in just 5 products. Okay, no, it's 6, so 0 to 5, and their corresponding sales. Cool. Let's proceed to the next utility, wherein we now do the opposite. That is, we export the data from the table to an Excel file. We start with right click on the database, tasks, export data. The same wizard opens up. Next, our data source will be snack. So this is the prod DB. Next, the destination has to be an Excel file. Let's browse for a file path. Create a product info v2.xlsx. Great. Copy data from one or more tables of use. That's correct. We copy from frauds and sales. Now, edit mappings is useful for applying checks on each of the columns, etc. But we will cover all these things when we discuss SSIS in detail. Next, run immediately. Finish. Perfect. Let's open up the destination. That's it. We have the file over here. As you might see, it has been auto created. Let's open the file. There you go. This is our data that has been exported to a new Excel workbook. So with that, we come towards the end of this episode. Have a great time. Cheers.